I know you started a Twitter the last little bit now. What prompted you to get on there?
What
What prompted you
prompted
to go?
me to?
Yeah.
Well, just, there's a lot of people out there that you'd like to be able to communicate with and don't have an opportunity to. Some of it is, I was encouraged by, our coaches in regards to recruiting, but, I thinking through it, there's a lot of young people that, not just football athletes, but, a lot of young people that pay attention to it, and so it gives you an opportunity to kind of address a value system. And so that's kind of how it got started.
Yeah.
Now we see how long it lasts.
You're obviously famous for your handwritten notes, and people really like receiving those. Would we expect some of the same thing on Twitter as well then?
Well, I don't know. I haven't. I've only been doing it 2 or 3 weeks here, so we'll see how that goes. The handwritten notes. Jake Trotter out of ESPN did an article, and I've chastised him for it because I get probably about 1,500 or so letters a month in order to
respond to all
that require a response, and I've always answered my own mail. I've never left it to the secretary or anyone else. I just feel obligated to do that. And so that makes it a little bit harder right now. But I'm probably not any different from most people. When somebody does something really positive and special, you like to recognize that, and that's the way I do it.
Big 12 in particular is going through a little bit of transition right now, or possibly one anyways. What are you looking for from the conference as far as expansion? Would you be in favor of that?
Well, I've always, from day one, I've always been in favor of having a conference that was just exactly like we had when we started the Big 12. 12 teams, 2 divisions, championship game. And I say that selfishly. Everybody in the conference doesn't feel that way, and I understand that. I say it because I believe it was in the best interest of Kansas State, certainly was for us, and is for a number of other schools in the conference. We've got 4 divisional trophies running around someplace that we wouldn't have otherwise. We played had the opportunity to get into championship games that otherwise we may not have. And other schools have done exactly the same. Iowa State has had a chance. When I came after I retired and came back, the very first year we were not a very good football team, but we were a 6-6 football team. But the last game of the year, we're playing for a divisional championship. With therefore an opportunity to play in the conference championship. So it was good for us. It just made sense for us. But I understand everybody has a reason for how they believe.
Do you think there's a particular set of teams that would be really good for the Big 12, or is it one being able to just strengthen a conference with 12 by itself?
Well, there's quite a few right now to select from. I have, which I'm not going to reveal, but I have those that I think would truly benefit the Big 12 conference. But everybody has a little different opinion on it.
Do you think it's important for the viability of the Big 12 to get back to 12?
I don't think it's an absolute necessity. No, but I think it's like I say, I'm partial to 12-team conference because of the benefit for Kansas State.
Kansas State's have gone through a lot of development in the last few years, obviously athletic facilities in particular. How has that gone, and how has that helped you so far?
Well, the facilities are nice, and they're almost complete, not quite, but almost. And I think our players really appreciate the element, the portion of it that they have in their locker room and all the facilities, the weight room facilities, etc. Are very positive for our players. So as long as the players are happy, then I'll be happy.
Yeah, and the perception out there a lot of times facilities is just how nice it looks or whatever, but it can actually truly help players, like say the weight room. If it's a state-of-the-art facility with the weight room, that could really help not only strengthening but on the football team as well.
Well, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I think you get out of it what you put into it, and but as I said, I mean, it's meaningful for our players in regards to there's a comfort level and a convenience for them that they appreciate. But when you start lifting weights, you're not paying too much attention to how pretty something happens to be. Either you're into it or you're not, I think, and our guys do a pretty good job of being able to get into the things that they're doing right now. I can appreciate that.
What's the spring been like? Moving on from last year, obviously, and starting brand new, fresh with new players and a lot of returners, but trying to progress from last year.
Well, I think the biggest thing is just being able to get guys healthy was the most significant thing over the out-of-season program. So, we got our 2 quarterbacks back that were out for the season, and our free safety was out for the season. So, and a couple other guys that missed about half the season, but they're all back now and going, and so that's significant for us. That was probably as big as anything. But we were spring practice was inconsistent, probably not as good as I would like for it to be, but probably over the past 20 some odd years, that's always been my response in the spring. Nothing changes.
Well, there has been some changes in that now. Practices are allowed over the last few years, and at the NCAA level, has that changed the way you've gone about things, or drastically?
No, there's no changes with what we do. I mean, we are. I'm not sure which ones you're talking about, but we are in alignment with the time element rules and days that you can or can't practice. We've always been aligned with that.
Your program is known for bringing in junior college athletes and maybe progressing them a little bit further than people's expectations for them. Jayhawk Conference is obviously a big part of that. Mm-hmm. Some of the changes in Jayhawk Conference, out-of-state limit, I don't know how familiar you are with that, but they're trying to move that up. Do you think that would affect Kansas State at all if they're able to bring in more talent at the junior college level here in Kansas?
Well, I really couldn't answer the question. I don't know. I know over the years as I've been here, since we recruited, brought into our program so many community college transfers, more and more schools from all over the country have taken a viable interest in that. So, that has elevated the community college recruiting process a great deal. So you have an awful lot of programs from all over the country that come in to recruit out of the Jayhawk Conference, where that wasn't quite as the traffic wasn't quite as great back in the day as it is now. So it's a little bit more difficult now. If obviously if you have more to select from, it would seem so you would, but so many of the young people now are coming out of the Southwestern Conference area, and consequently, when they finish here, they want to go back home, and so they gravitate back to Southeastern Conference schools.
I really appreciate it.